Hi everybody, welcome to Sprague Woodturning. My name's Jim. So in this video, I'm going to take this nice little cherry bowl that I've got, and as you can see, it's good and dry. It was done actually last May, and it's been through my fridge kiln and it's been dried down 7% and it's ready to go. So this is going to be a resin inlay video, and what I did was the funky bowl where it was the walnut with all the different colored resins that I did recently. Well, I gathered up all of the shavings from it. Get this to focus on here. So there was all kinds of different colored resins in that video, and I was lucky enough to have some paper laying around, and it all landed on this paper and I gathered it up. So anyway, there's quite a bit of it in this container, so I'll be able to do more than one inlay with it for sure. So anyway, we're going to inlay this material in the rim of that cherry bowl, and we're going to use epoxy as the binding agent to do that. So all I'm going to do is just get a glue block on the bottom of this, and I'll see you at the lathe. I'm just trying to make this video a little quicker than normal. So anyway, I'll see you at the lathe. All right, so this is the Mohawk Salad Bowl Finish. And what I've done is I've actually thinned this 20% of its volume, and I just pulled it out of my clean room where this has been sitting on a ledge above my electric heater. So it's actually very viscous, which is exactly what we want. If you remember the curly maple bowl with the mussel shell inlay, I actually redid that, and it looks pretty darn good now. So I'm going to, I'll show that bowl in this video as well, just so that you've got an idea as to what I've done here. And again, this has mineral spirits in it already, so that really shouldn't be an issue. And of course, I want to seal this up before we put the resin in it, because I don't want any resin staining. But we'll see. Resin can really fool you sometimes. And whatever is left over on here, I'll just wipe off with a rag before it goes into the clean room. And that's it. Tomorrow we'll put the finish on it. or sorry, we'll do the inlay in it. See you tomorrow. Okay, so it's the next day and we're getting ready to put our resin bits in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up the groove about 3/4 of the way, and then I'll pour a little bit of resin in here, and then I've got to move this into the pressure pot, level this, and as you can see I've got it just sitting on a little block so it's more stable, and then I'll top it up once it's inside the pressure pot. I've also got a piece of paper down so that I can collect any resin bits that fall out. There, I think that's good. I'm just going to do a good thorough check to make sure that there's no wooden bits in the resin here. And then we'll mix up some clear resin and get it in here. Anyway, it looks good. We're going to use the Pro Series from Designer Epoxy. Alright, so when you order your epoxy, you can get these pumps to go in your bottles. And I think I'm just going to mix up maybe 3 ounces, something like that. Or what I'm going to do is just do 2 pumps of this. It starts. Okay, so there, it's full. One. Two. So that was A. Of course, B is 1. So again, just push it down till you start to get fluid. Oh, there you go. And 1 part B. Actually, that pretty much made it 3 ounces. So each one of those pumps is pretty much 1 ounce. And I'm just going to use this little frother. Not actually what you want, but it seems to work all right. And that's up on medium. It certainly does seem to add bubbles to the mix. That's not really an issue. The only real issue that I've found is if you've got too many bubbles in it, it's hard to judge how much resin to use in a pour. Again, if you're wondering how I'm cleaning this, this is just acetone. Just put it in the acetone. That'll take any of the resin off. Anyway, there it is, all clean. It's ready for the next time. Now I have a vacuum chamber, and if I wanted to, I could degas this. I'm not going to. And, you know, sure, I probably could have used a stir stick. Maybe I should have. Anyway, too late now. So anyway, let's do a little pour here. Now I'm going to want to stick a level on the edge of this, so I'm going to try and do this without getting it on the wood. And there we go. So much for that idea. I'm a little unsure if the resin was going to float in this or not. Yeah, I can tell it's going to be really colorful. Anyway, we'll let that just settle in for a minute, and then we'll move it into the pressure pot and finish off the pour. All right, so I used a little torpedo level here to make sure it was level. I'm going to carefully pour this. There, I don't think I'm going to put any more than that in there. That groove is quite deep, so even if that shrinks considerably, we should be still fine. All right, let's get some pressure in this. All right, so it is the next day, and I get asked sometimes why I put the finish on the bowl before I do any inlay work, and this is the reason right there. That resin would have stained that end grain really bad, and then we'd be dealing with something else. So I should be able to clean that off, no problem, and there shouldn't be any staining there. So that's the main reason. It's a little hard to see the inlay right now. Anyway, I'll cut this back and then we'll get a better look at it. I'm going to be kind of curious to see how many bubbles are in it. But anyway, let's do that. All right, so we've got a few little bubbles here. Actually, it's better than I anticipated. There's a lot of air trapped in all those little bits of resin, so I'm not really surprised by this. So I'm not going to do resin again. I'm just going to use the thin CA glue from Starbond, and of course, accelerator to set it. And this will be the first true look that we get at this inlay. Once this glue goes on, it will give us a real good look at what the inlay actually looks like. And I'm just going to go all the way around it. There, what do you think? I think it's pretty neat. Anyway, I'm just going to let that sit for a couple of minutes. Then I'll hit it with the accelerator, and then we'll go back to the lathe, sand back the glue, and then get to the second coat finish on this. Oh, I got to sand the outside of this too because of the resin. All right, so I just want to briefly talk about this, the Mohawk Salad Bowl Finish. Now, one thing, the biggest complaint I have about it is that it's not thin enough. And the other complaint is, where my bottles went to. This is my denatured alcohol bottle. This just for example. Overnight, you'll get a ring around the bottle. And I never got that with the other finish I was using. So what I did was I went to Artistic Wooden Supply in Toronto on their website and I ordered this stop loss. And this is the starter kit. It comes with a filler tube. So your funnel goes on here. That goes on to the top of your bag when you're filling it. And these are 1 liter bags, I believe they are. Something like that. Yeah, I think they are. And so ever since I've been using this now for about 4 or 5 days, and there's no cured finish at all because there's no air in here. So you squeeze all the air out of this and you put the lid on it. The only problem with this is I like to pour onto a rag when I put it on the bowl, and that doesn't really work all that well. So I've ordered these little 3-ounce plastic or paper cups that I'll be pouring that into, and then that onto my rag to finish the bowls. I haven't really fully figured out for sure how thin I want this. This is between 10 and 20% with mineral spirits, thinned a bit so it'll flow better. Anyway, I'm still working through it. So I'm gonna go with what I've got in here and see what we get on this bowl. I have done it on another bowl and it has worked out, but there's still some ridges in it. So it's still a work in progress. By the way, I'm happy with this. And what I do is I just place that above the heater in my clean room, and it stays nice and warm. And since it can't get any oxygen in it, it won't cure, and it's thinner. So anyway, it's working for me. So anyway, let's get another coat finish on this. All right, so I've just got to transfer it into these little plastic cups. I do find that you really need to saturate the rag. It seems to work a lot better if the rag is really saturated with the finish. So I'm just going to stick it right down inside of here. Now I sanded the inside of this too. I didn't just do the outside. Yeah, that's not too bad. Again, I can see some streaking on there, but you know, it's not the finished top coat. Anyway, that's what it looks like so far. What do you think? Now, if this was early in the day, I would put the second coat on today, but it looks like it's going to have to wait until tomorrow now. All right, so this is hopefully the last coat. Well, all right, that's it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed this bonus video. I want to do 6 videos a month, and through the week I'll try and do videos like this that are a little more simplistic and leave the more complex ones for Friday's video. And speaking of this, I mean, I don't even have the faceplate cut off of this yet, or sorry, the waste block. So anyway, let's bring in for a little last look here. You know, it's a little hard to see because it's shiny. I'll try to put some stills up at the end. And of course, the finish, 3 coats of the Mohawk Salad Bowl Finish. And it's good. I've thinned it, I'm going to say probably 15%, 15 to 20% I would say. And it seems to flow well. Warming up certainly helps. Anyway, it is still a work in progress. So I want to get this, you know, figured out before I say to you, yeah, do this, this, and that. So anyway, that's kind of what these videos are going to be through the week. So anyway, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about the resin inlay. And of course, that's resin bits, so I'm able to recycle some of that resin from last week's video. And of course, it was all about the finish as well. And I said that I would show you the curly maple bowl This one was done a couple of weeks ago. This is the curly maple and mussel shell video. And as you can see, it is so shiny. But it really brings that curl alive. If you've got a dull bowl, if you're just using mineral oil and waxes, it just doesn't have that luster and that chatoyance that you get with shiny finishes. But it's unforgiving. I mean, I've got one little spot in here. This was actually bought by a subscriber. And so anyway, I'm going to have to, it might be fine for a lot of people, but it's not for me. So I've got to get this tiny little speck out of there, and then I'll be able to ship this out. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget about all the links to the discount codes to Starbond, sandpaper.ca, and of course, designer Epoxy. And that's it. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you Friday. Don't forget that thumbs up, and don't forget that bell. You'll know when I put up a new video. And like I said, I don't know exactly when it's going to be in the month, but like I said, six a month is my goal anyway. So anyway, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you Friday.